Now let's work with the chain rule, the most powerful tool of differentiation. I would not go more with the textbook language or technical stuff. Let us break it down. What I'm teaching now is something else, something simple. Right now, I'll explain the deeper part of chain rule a little later. Let's try to understand this, okay? Now, like this, I have y is equal to sine x is one of the simple trigonometric function to differentiate, right? Now, I can also write this as, when I differentiate, dy by dx would be cos of x, right? Now, I would rewrite this whole trigonometric function in a little different fashion, which can help us to understand chain rule. All right, go ahead. Let's say y is equal to sine of not x this time, some function x, or some function. I just take a bracket here. All right. Now, if I differentiate this dy by dx, what exactly I do is I just differentiate sine function as cos of whatever thing is inside sine. All right, let's come back to this. I can write this as whatever thing inside sine and differentiate this again what is inside. So what happens here? There's cos of x. I can write like this, dx by dx is 1. So I don't write this, okay? So what I get is dy by dx is cos x. That's it. So this is what we have learned, or we by hearted, we remember these kind of formulae basically, right? Now let's come back to this. It's the same formula, but I'm not writing x here, okay? So differentiation of sine x, differentiation of sine of a bracket. What do you get? Cos of x into dx by dx, all right? So into d by dx of whatever was inside. That's all about it, all right? Now this would not become 1 because I don't have an x here. So that remains like that. This is my general way of differentiating a sine function or any other function. So we would write all the functions like this and see what exactly we understand from this to do chain rule. All right. Now look at this. Let me take an example. So y is equal to sine of inside this. Okay. Well, I had nothing. Let me take x. So what happens? So that becomes cos of x into d by dx of x. So dx and dx is gone. So I get cos of x, which is like what I learned. Correct? Now let's come back to this. Take another example. Y is equal to sine of, let's say, e power x. So what happens? How do you differentiate sine? That is cos of e power x into d by dx of e power x. Okay, this is my dy by dx. Look at this. So, y is equal to sine of a bracket. So if I differentiate sine, it goes like cos, and with that bracket, whatever function it is, into differentiation of that particular function if it was there. Now, in this case, what is the function inside is e power x here, and e power x. So what happens next? That goes like cos of x, e power x, into differentiation of e power x is e power x. That's it. So that's my answer. Right? Now look at this. If I start filling up things into this, like in, let's say I write log x inside this. Okay, so what happens to my formula? That becomes cos of log x into d by dx of log x. So what happens to my answer? That is cos of log x into 1 by x is your answer. That is it. All right. Now what if I change this? Okay. What if I change this? Not to log x, something else. Okay. So let's write a power x. So what happens here? It's a power x. So what happens here? It's a power x. And I get cos of a power x. And how do you differentiate a power x? That is a power x into log a. That's all about it. So now we understand. It's very simple. This would be my more general formula of any trigonometric function. And whatever comes here, I would write here and try to differentiate the same thing. And if it was x, x comes here and dx by dx is 1. That's how it becomes cos x. If it is not x, if it is e power x, it goes like e power x here and e power x here, and that would be e cos of e power x into e power x. So that's what happens. This is the first chain we have. If we can have multiple chains, we'll try to understand this a little later, okay? In the next videos, we'll try to write the simple chains of all the trigonometric functions first, okay? And we go ahead next and learn the deeper part of chain rule.